Harley-Davidson just removed 4 long-running machines from the lineup, and they did it without a press release, a warning, or even a hint to the riders who relied on them. These weren't fringe models, these were core pieces of the touring world, suddenly wiped from dealer sheets and factory listings. And what replaces them in 2026 is even more surprising. The new lineup reveals a dramatic shift in priorities that older riders will feel immediately. Tonight, we break down what quietly vanished, why it happened, and the 4 unexpected machines stepping in next year. Stay with this one to the end. You'll understand exactly what Harley isn't saying out loud. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Road King Special. The Road King Special earned its place in American touring because it carried the spirit of the open highway without leaning on screens or layered electronics. Riders valued it for what it did not have as much as for what it offered. It was a machine for men who believed the ride should be shaped by wind, throttle, and the feel of steel beneath them. This stripped-down approach is part of why its cancellation hit so hard. The Road King Special never tried to be a showpiece. It tried to be a companion, the kind that stayed reliable through long miles, rough back roads, and quiet early mornings when the world had not yet decided what it wanted from you. Losing a bike like this signals more than a shift in product lines. It marks the fading of a certain riding philosophy. For many older riders, the Road King Special represented independence. It left room for the rider to shape the experience instead of having the motorcycle dictate it. There was space for personalization, for small touches gathered over years of ownership, for stories built one state at a time. The lack of a fairing meant the wind always met you honestly. The absence of a built-in sound system meant the engine note became the soundtrack. The simplicity of layout meant a rider could understand the machine without digging through layers of technology. It is no surprise that the men who valued this clarity feel its exit more sharply than others. Yet, the Road King Special also had limitations that Harley never resolved. Its touring frame was strong, but without updated cooling, modern rider aids, or upgraded suspension components found on newer models, it began to feel left behind. Some riders accepted this because they wanted tradition. Others hoped for a refreshed version that never arrived. When a bike remains unchanged too long, it risks being judged not by its strengths, but by the speed of progress around it. The Road King Special stood proud, but time moved forward, and the company chose a different path. The Road King Special delivers roughly 89 horsepower from an 1,868 cubic centimeter engine, produces about 122 pound-feet of torque, uses an anti-lock braking system with reflex-linked braking, operates with a dual bending valve, front suspension and standard hand-adjustable emulsion rear shocks, carries a wet weight near 814 pounds, offers a seat height of approximately 26.4 inches, and begins at a starting price of $24,999. A shift in priorities becomes even clearer once the following machine's departure comes into view. Number 3. Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. Some machines rise to the top, not because they chase attention, but because they quietly master the long road. That was the role this premium touring rig filled for riders who wanted a blend of muscle, refinement, and endurance. It carried an unmistakable presence, not from excess flash, but from the confidence that comes with a machine built to devour distance without losing composure. Older riders who spent decades on open highways understood its appeal immediately. It offered the sense that every component had been shaped with intention, and every mile would be backed by engineering meant to support real travel, not showroom posing. Losing this machine from the lineup marks a turning point, because it signals that even the finest long-haul tools are not immune to corporate realignment or shifting priorities. Those who appreciated this model never cared about having the trendiest features. They cared about durability, wind stability, and the assurance that the bike could hold a steady line through crosswinds and unpredictable weather. They valued the feeling of settling into a comfortable rhythm, while the engine delivered steady low-end pull. comfort mattered deeply, especially for riders who had already spent years battling fatigue on lesser machines. Its ergonomics encouraged long days, and its posture promised support when the ride stretched far beyond the horizon. This was not a machine for theatrics. It was for the man who carried decades of road behind him and demanded a companion strong enough to keep that pace. Its cancellation lands hard because it closes the chapter on a touring approach that honored traditional riders. Many hoped the company would preserve this option as a testament to the riders who built their lives around long-distance journeys. Instead, the lineup moves in a direction that leans more heavily on new platforms and modern styling, leaving behind a machine that once represented the summit of long-form American touring. The departure does not erase its legacy, but it does leave many wondering what future models will offer to riders who value calm control, predictable handling, and real road authority. The CVO Road Glide delivers about 94 horsepower from an 1,868 cubic centimeter engine, produces roughly 125 pound-feet of torque, uses an anti-lock braking system with reflex-linked control, relies on premium touring suspension components, carries a wet weight near 862 pounds, offers a seat height of approximately 26.7 inches, and begins at a starting price close to $42,999. Another familiar presence steps into the spotlight next, carrying its own story of sudden removal. If you're finding value in this breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Share your thoughts below, especially if these changes affect your choice of what to ride next. Your insight keeps these conversations sharp and grounded in real experience. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Street Glide Ultra. Some motorcycles earn trust the slow way by proving themselves mile after mile without asking for applause. This one stepped into the touring world, carrying the posture and feel riders knew by heart. It offered a familiar stance, a stable road presence, and a sense of balance that reminded riders of long cross-country days when comfort mattered more than screens or flashy updates. It felt grounded, practical, and built for those who understood what real distance requires. Many riders saw it as a return to older touring principles. The seating position encouraged relaxed shoulders. The wind protection shielded the rider without drowning the experience. Storage was generous enough for real travel instead of short weekend hops. Everything about its layout rewarded maturity and experience, speaking directly to riders who value time-tested design more than trend-driven styling. It filled the space between bare touring and full-dress luxury, offering a middle path for riders who needed comfort without unnecessary layers of electronics. Yet the very qualities that made the Street Glide ultra appealing also placed it in a difficult position. Riders expecting a modern surge of refinement saw it as caught between eras. Others, wanting a simpler setup, viewed it as more machine than they needed. As Harley streamlined its touring strategy, this model found itself unable to anchor firmly in either direction. Its cancellation reflects not failure, but the consequences of a shifting lineup aimed at fewer, more consolidated platforms. For older riders who appreciated a well-balanced touring companion, its departure feels personal. This machine supported long days, steady throttle work, and the kind of relaxed travel that defined an entire generation of American riding. It kept fatigue low, confidence high, and expectations reasonable. Riders trusted it not because it dazzled, but because it behaved the same on mile 1 as it did on mile 1,000. That consistency is hard to replace, and its absence tightens the choices available to riders who prioritize traditional touring comfort. Despite its cancellation, its legacy remains rooted in practicality and endurance. Those who rode it understand why it mattered. It offered a bridge between simple, open-road touring and fully modernized luxury machines, letting riders choose comfort without losing the mechanical connection to the road that defines real travel. Its removal marks the quiet end of a design philosophy that once shaped the backbone of American touring. The Street Glide Ultra delivers around 89 horsepower from an 1,868 cubic centimeter engine, produces about 111 pound-feet of torque, uses an anti-lock braking system with linked control, operates with standard touring suspension components, carries a wet weight near 944 pounds, offers a seat height of about 27.2 inches, and begins at a starting price near $31,499. The most personal loss for many riders still waits ahead, revealing how deeply these changes reach. While the lineup shifts, stay prepared. Check the description for gears and accessories built for real riders. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Freewheeler. Some departures feel heavier than others, not because the machine was the most advanced, but because it carried real meaning for riders who refused to let age or injury push them out of the wind. The Freewheeler filled that role with quiet strength. It gave riders a path forward when balance, strength, or long-term wear made two wheels more demanding than they once were. Its presence on the road represented determination, independence, and the belief that riding should continue for as long as a person has heart for the miles ahead. Many riders chose the Freewheeler because it stripped away excess. It focused on the fundamentals, stability, predictable control, and a sense of openness that kept the riding experience honest. Without a large fairing to hide behind, the connection to the road felt direct. Without unnecessary electronics layered into the cockpit, the rider kept authority over the experience. The simplicity appealed to those who had spent decades tuning, maintaining, and understanding their machines from the inside out. What made the Freewheeler especially valuable was the dignity it preserved. Riders who transitioned from heavier touring models often did so reluctantly, knowing the challenges of age were beginning to shape their decisions. This trike made that shift feel less like an ending and more like an evolution. It allowed riders to continue exploring back roads, finishing bucket list rides, and sharing weekend runs with friends who understood the meaning of long-earned miles. It ensured that the road remained accessible, even when the body began to argue otherwise. Its cancellation does not erase what it offered, but it does limit the options available to older riders who prefer minimal bodywork and a lighter approach to three-wheel travel. With fewer choices ahead, many will search for used models to keep an already beloved design alive. Others will look toward larger trikes, though the transition will not feel the same. Losing this machine narrows a doorway that helped thousands stay connected to the lifestyle that shaped their lives. The Freewheeler also carried a distinct personality. It balanced a muscular stance with approachable handling. It held steady through changes in terrain. It responded well to steady throttle inputs and provided enough confidence for riders returning to longer rides after time away. This balance of power and control made it more than a tool. It became a partner on the road. The Freewheeler delivers roughly 88 horsepower from an 1,868 cubic centimeter engine, produces about 122 pound-feet of torque, uses an anti-lock braking system with reflex-linked control, relies on a dual bending valve front suspension with preload adjustable rear shocks, carries a wet weight of approximately 1,118 pounds, offers a seat height of about 26.2 inches, and begins at a starting price near $36,999. As these models fade out, the road begins to open for the machines preparing to take their place in 2026. Losing these four machines closes a meaningful chapter in American touring. Each one carried a purpose shaped by real riders who judged a bike by miles, not marketing. Their departure leaves empty spaces in the lineup where tradition, simplicity, and long-haul confidence once lived. But the story does not end there. As the company clears room in its catalog, a new wave of machines is preparing to step forward. These next models are set to define what the 2026 season will offer riders who still expect power, stability, and road-ready purpose from every mile ahead. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Tri-Glide. There are machines built to carry riders through the early years of discovery, and there are machines designed to keep them moving long after strength and balance begin to shift. This trike belongs to the second group. It exists for riders who refuse to surrender the open road, even when two wheels start asking more of the body than the body can comfortably give. Its purpose is simple but powerful: preserve freedom, extend independence, and keep a rider's story rolling forward without hesitation. Many riders turn to the Tri-Glide not because they want something easier, but because they want something steady. They still want the long miles, the slow pull through small towns, the strong push of a V-twin engine climbing a steady grade. What they no longer want is the quiet worry that comes with balancing a heavy touring bike at low speed or on uneven pavement. This trike removes that concern entirely. It lets the rider focus on distance instead of doubt, which is why it remains such an important part of the touring world. The riding position earns immediate respect from older riders. The seat provides a supportive foundation, the bars rise naturally to hand height, and the foot position encourages relaxed posture, even during long hours on the road. The rear wheels create a confident footprint that holds its line through wind gusts, rough patches, or unexpected dips. For riders who have experienced fatigue from years of long-distance touring, this stability feels like a fresh lease on the lifestyle they love. The Tri-Glide is known for carrying real weight without complaint, remaining steady with passengers, luggage, and long-haul gear. Its reliability earns rider trust on extended trips, offering peace of mind as hours stack up. Consistent braking and smooth pull-suit riders who prioritize comfort. Its presence signals that touring evolution does not require chasing speed or excess technology. This machine honors durability, long-term companionship, and the value of distance over trend for those who ride with purpose and experience. The Tri-Glide Ultra produces around 88 horsepower from an 1,868 cubic centimeter engine, delivers roughly 122 pound-feet of torque, uses an anti-lock braking system with reflex-linked control, rides on a touring suspension setup built for three-wheel stability, carries a wet weight near 1,243 pounds, offers a seat height of about 27.1 inches, and begins at a starting price around $41,999. Another three-wheeled contender rises behind it, shaped for riders who want confidence with a sharper edge. Number 3. Harley-Davidson Nightster. Power in a compact frame has always appealed to riders who favor agility over bulk, and the Nightster fills that role with purpose. It was built for those who want a lighter machine that still carries the unmistakable American sound and stance. Its silhouette remains familiar, yet its behavior on the road separates it from larger touring models. With a low center of gravity and a firm, confident posture, the Nightster offers responsiveness that seasoned riders often miss when moving between heavier bikes. It brings a sense of direct control, the kind earned through years of riding, not through electronics. The Nightster finds its place by honoring a tradition of simple strength. Many riders remember earlier machines that demanded active engagement, and this bike echoes that spirit without stepping into uncomfortable territory. It feels deliberate from the first throttle roll, producing a steady pull that invites smoother riding rather than chasing high-speed drama. For veterans who appreciate minimalism with a hint of refinement, the Nightster becomes a reminder of the days when weight, balance, and road feel carried more value than large fairings or high-end displays. Confidence at low and moderate speeds remains one of its defining strengths. Whether maneuvering through town, carving back roads, or settling into steady cruising, the Nightster shows predictable behavior. It handles shifting road textures and changing conditions with clarity, holding its line without forcing correction. Riders who have downsized from heavier platforms often find renewed ease in its straightforward nature. Its role in the coming lineup speaks to a changing landscape. As larger touring machines continue to grow in weight, cost, and complexity, the Nightster offers a contrasting philosophy rooted in rider connection. It stands for a style of motorcycling that values movement, instinct, and simplicity. It respects the past, while acknowledging that not every member of the community wants more technology or bulk. This creates a path for riders who appreciate freedom through minimalism rather than size. The Nightster delivers 100 horsepower from its 975 cubic centimeter engine, producing 70 pound-feet of torque through a dual front and single rear anti-lock braking system with standard discs. It features a front telescopic fork and rear dual shock suspension, carries a wet weight of 483 pounds, offers a seat height of 27.8 inches, and begins at $13,499. Fresh possibilities emerge as the next model steps forward with a difference in posture and purpose. If you want straightforward analysis without noise or corporate spin, subscribe before you head out. New updates and model shifts are unfolding fast, and staying informed helps you make the right call when the next season brings its own surprises. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Street Glide. There are moments when a familiar silhouette returns with sharper lines and a new sense of purpose, reminding riders that evolution does not always mean leaving the past behind. This touring machine represents that kind of shift. It steps into the modern era with a body redesigned for cleaner airflow, a cockpit shaped for clearer visibility, and a road presence that still carries the confidence older riders expect from a true long-distance companion. The feel of this machine signals a return to balance, where comfort and strength share equal ground. Many riders who spent decades behind wide fairings and tall windscreens will recognize the intention behind this design. It aims to ease long-distance fatigue, reduce heat around the legs, and create a more controlled ride in shifting winds. These are the details older riders appreciate most, because long hours on the road demand predictability. The seat cradles the rider more effectively than past versions, and the bar position encourages natural posture rather than forcing shoulders into a forward lean. For men who ride with experience instead of speed, this comfort is not a luxury, but a requirement. Even with its modern silhouette, the Street Glide still respects the rhythm of the road. The fairing cuts through the wind without overwhelming the rider with noise. The updated lighting system improves visibility without feeling overly futuristic. The layout of the dash is cleaner, offering clarity rather than clutter. Older riders who value control above flash will find familiarity here. It feels like a machine built to support the long-term rider, the one who has covered thousands of miles and knows exactly what makes a journey satisfying. This machine answers modern touring demands with a stiffer frame, balanced handling, and smoother cornering, while preserving its classic identity. It offers a middle ground between extremes, proving comfort and strength can coexist. Its presence reassures riders who felt overlooked by newer trends, honoring long-held touring values while embracing refinement without abandoning tradition. The 2025 Street Glide delivers about 105 horsepower from a 1917 cubic centimeter engine, produces roughly 125 pound-feet of torque, uses an anti-lock braking system with linked control, rides on a dual bending valve front suspension with improved rear shocks, carries a wet weight near 827 pounds, offers a seat height of about 26.7 inches, and begins at a starting price near $25,399. A single machine remains, carrying the responsibility of representing the strongest form of modern American touring. Number 1. Harley-Davidson. Fat boy strength, expressed through solid presence, has always defined the fat boy. It stands apart because it does not try to hide its weight, its purpose, or its unmistakable silhouette. The broad stance, wide rear tire, and iconic profile immediately speak to riders who appreciate motorcycles that command attention without relying on excess styling. The Fat Boy has served as a symbol of American muscle, not through aggression, but through unmistakable confidence. Riders who choose it often seek more than transportation. They want a machine that communicates stability and durability long before the engine starts. the Fat Boy carries a sense of permanence on the road. Wind, surface changes, and long miles do little to unsettle it. Older riders often praise the way it tracks straight and true, especially on open stretches where steadiness matters more than sharp transitions. The bike supports a pace that allows riders to settle into the rhythm of the journey. This is not a machine that needs to prove anything. It offers reassurance through each mile, appealing to those who value predictability and classic strength. Its low-slung build gives the rider grounded authority, making slow-speed maneuvering more controlled than many expect from a machine of this size. The Fat Boy rewards a measured hand, responding with even power delivery and quiet confidence. Riders who grew up during eras when motorcycles carried more metal and less technology often find themselves returning to the Fat Boy because it reflects the qualities that shaped their riding years. It stands as a reminder of when presence came from design integrity, not digital features. Its ongoing importance rests in the way it bridges heritage with modern refinement. While the industry moves toward lighter frames or advanced touring platforms, the Fat Boy remains a declaration that raw steel still has a place. It supports riders who want a machine that feels substantial, trustworthy, and connected to the roots of American riding culture. In a lineup that continues to evolve, the Fat Boy remains a strong anchor, proving that certain values do not fade. The Fat Boy produces 94 horsepower from its 114 engine, delivering 118 pound-feet of torque through a dual front and single rear anti-lock braking system. It rides on a front cartridge fork and rear monoshock suspension, carries a wet weight of 953 pounds, offers a seat height of 25.9 inches, and begins at $21,349. The cancellations are real, the replacements are coming, and the future of Harley's touring lineup is already taking shape. Some riders will celebrate the upgrades, others will miss the machines that carried them across states for years. Where do you stand? I want to hear from the riders who put real miles on these bikes. Drop your thoughts below and keep the discussion honest. And if you appreciate videos that cut through the noise and lay out the facts, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with another rider who wants the truth, not the marketing gloss.